The Frozen North, Episode 39, We're All Gamers, Part 2.
Hello and welcome to episode number 39 and part 2 of our We're All Gamers episode extravaganza thing, spiel. I still can't do it.
Part 2.
Same way. I can't. I should have written this out like Mark does and made a paragraph.
This episode has extravaganza.
What?
Yeah. Good high five for that.
Vaganza.
Yeah. It has extravaganza. You said extravaganza.
Yeah.
I think that was a ridiculous thing to say. All right.
Brian knows.
Yeah, I do. Mark, we have the same brainwaves.
As you heard last week, we are once again joined by our friends over at the Terra and Lightning's RPG Roundup podcast. Ladies, say hello.
Hi, it's Rachel, aka Lightning, and this is Katie, aka Terra.
All right.
Hello.
And my name is JJ.
Howdy, y'all! My name's...
I just got back last week from the ear doctor, Mark. And I'm Brian.
He can't... I want to hear you do it one time without laughing afterwards, too.
This
Every
is
time.
I can't do that.
This is literally I'm going to do it in a monotone. Howdy, y'all. That's how you do it every time.
It is true.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah.
See, just like that.
And you did it very quietly where my ears don't hate you.
Honestly, if you did that, though, I would probably be disappointed.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
So... You have a shtick now.
Yeah, you do.
That's
You're
it.
the howdy
Sorry,
y'all guy.
I have a choice. Okay, we're well. You know what? I'll start with the contest reminder. 100 Twitter.
Wow.
Please subscribe.
If you haven't had Tinder, how about I say better?
We are trying to get 100 Twitter followers, and if we do, we will be doing a contest. So go ahead and follow us on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, make one and follow us.
It's a fantastic prize. It's just hush hush.
At FN Podcast.
It's a terrible prize.
It's awesome.
I think it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
this sounds like a torture contest.
Well, it depends.
Wow.
It totally depends on a few things.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So, for Mark, I imagine it will be.
It will be Mark. Mark will hate this more than anybody.
Brian might hate it too, depending on...
Brian might hate it too.
I will. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's true. Heck, I might hate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I doubt it, though.
Ooh.
Oh.
We want you to play through all the Call of Duty.
No! Okay, so that's that. We have one email I wanted to read real quick from our buddy Dave. Sent us a message on Facebook here. He says, "Howdy, JJ. Great show as always. Blah, 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 etc." Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Literally what it says. It says, "This is just a quickie to let you all know that you have to drop whatever you're doing immediately and play Child of Light. It doesn't matter what you play it on. I played it on Vita, but it's available on just about everything, including the kitchen sink, but you guys have to play it. I played through it over the weekend, and oh my god, what a game. Beautiful, painterly visuals that rub against a gorgeous, at times haunting soundtrack to ignite a spark of something almost always lacking in games of today. Soul. Not since Journey have I been so spellbound by a game. It's by no means perfect. The writing could use some sharpening up, and the battle system is unnecessarily gimmicky, but it feels trite to complain about such things when the game had such an effect on me. It's easier than ever to feel jaded as a gamer with the flood of smartphone and lowest common denominator games that we see nowadays, but Child of Light reminds me why I love games so much." Him and I went back and forth a little bit, and he basically talked me into it. As soon as I get done with Tales of Vesperia, which should be pretty soon because I'm pretty far, I'm going to be hopping on Child of Light and knocking that out. And then I told him I hadn't played Journey yet, and he was like, "What is wrong with you?"
You need to play Journey.
I know.
I have not played Journey yet either, so...
He might hate Journey, to be honest.
Yeah,
Maybe Brian and I should do two-player Journey then.
No, actually, we should do Child of Light. My backlog, as you all may or may
saying
not...
when we play
Journey.
Journey.
Yeah, but does anybody know how long Child of Light is? Because I don't want to play another lengthy RPG. But...
I feel like it's pretty short.
That's what I've heard. Something about me, my backlog is almost 200 games right now, so I'm at like 190 something. So it's in there. I own it for the Vita.
That was something I asked him. I asked him how long it took, and he said it took him about 10 to 12 hours.
That is a perfect length of game that I'm willing to play. So
yeah,
I'm definitely. I'll break that out of my backlog. I got to get my backlog shrunk down to a manageable level.
Sounds good. Ladies, what about you? Have you played it?
No, I have it downloaded on my PS4, but I'm interested in it, but I've got other fish to fry right now. I've looked at the image of it on the PS4 and gone, that looks really pretty.
It's amazing looking. That's for sure.
I got it on my Wii U of all things, actually. So I'm excited to dive in. But yeah, he got me convinced, and I'm definitely gonna check it out as soon as I get done with Vesperia.
Maybe that's what I'll play when I'm done with the Darkness.
True enough. Well, why don't we go ahead and get into what we're here for today? This is our, like I said, part 2 of our 2-part gamer special. So what better way to wrap up a 2-part episode than by doing a giant top 5? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Our
Somebody's
top
excited.
5 top 5s.
Yeah,
All right,
this is the
that
top.
What?
Yeah.
No. No.
There's 5 top 5s.
Oh, yes.
Are we doing
yeah.
5 to the power of 5? Because that's a ton of.
So we all have the show notes in front of us. I think we're just going to go down the list one by one and knock these all out. We are going to be talking about, since we had a theme of gamers and girls last episode, we're going to stick with that. We're doing our top 5 female video game characters.
Very cool.
And all 5 of us have our top 5 lists, and we're just going to rock it out and talk about some...
We're all going to read them at the same time.
Yeah, and try to decipher. Everyone talk at the same time.
There's going to be somebody out there who's like, I have split up the audio into 5 separate tracks.
And now it is
I
mashed.
figured out...
I figured out the key, and I agree with Brian the most. Oh, what?
All right. So I will go ahead and start us off. And like I said, we'll just go down the list. It'll go me, Mark, Brian, Rachel, and then Katie, and then back to the top again. So, top 5 female video game characters. My number 5 is Cecilia Adelheid from Wild Arms.
The first one?
First one.
Cool.
Yep.
Good choice. Yeah, I like her.
I love her story, where she comes from, and how she changes throughout the game. Like, she starts off as just this princess, essentially, who is, like, it's been forever since I've played the game, but, like, she's just trying to do what she can to defend her people, and she realizes that she has something that can save them, and she literally gives up everything, who she is and everything like that, just so she can protect her people and keep, her kingdom safe. And she goes on the quest with Rudy and Jack. Rudy and Jack, and and the 3 of them, go through the rest of the game and stuff like that. But I love when games have that transition of changing a person, showing them one way in the beginning, and having them grow and change over the course of the game. And she definitely does that in that game, and it's just a really, really, it's really cool to see that. And she's just a likable character, flat out. She cares about everything and everyone and wants to do her best to save everybody.
Absolute.
So that's my number 5, Celia.
Solid pick.
Well, yeah. When have you played Wild Arms?
I've played it.
All the way through?
No. I've played up till Demon Labs.
Oh, wow. That's actually pretty... Wow, I'm impressed. Man,
Yeah,
look at you playing
dude.
a game for once.
Whoa. What? I've got 5 games that I've played on this list here.
Okay.
Okay.
So PSN for super cheap.
It is.
I
totally
just
worth
bought.
it.
I have 3 for the PS2, and I just bought 1 and 2 on the PSN.
Didn't you say that you weren't going to buy
during the flash sale?
any more games?
Oh, I did that. That was back when it was on flash sale.
Yeah, that was Steam. So...
Yeah,
Oh,
Steam
okay.
only,
Excuse
Mark.
me.
Yeah, jeez.
My number 5 is Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. And
Way too low on your list.
way too low. JJ hasn't played this game at all yet. So
In
this
his
is-
defense, that's like his number 5 out of every female video game character out there.
Yeah, come on.
Still,
Come on.
When it gets to mine, I'll explain why
All
it's
right,
too low.
Elizabeth is like a triumph of game design. It's probably one of the first games that's done companion, like escort mission type stuff correctly. She never gets in the way. She's always helpful. She's never a liability. There's never a headache. So, great character. The plot of this character is also fantastic. What she means to the universe, how she factors in with what's actually going on, is awesome. There's a downside with it as well. I think she's kind of like she's got Disney princess syndrome, if you know what I mean, where like she's locked up in a tower and a man has to come save her.
Totally disagree with you, and I'll explain when you get to
Why
mine.
do you disagree with me?
I'll get to it when it's my turn, but I'll explain why I disagree with you. So just keep going. I see what you're
I
saying.
feel like there's a little bit of shallowness to the character. I mean, she's locked up in a tower her entire life, and as soon as she gets out, she immediately has social graces. She knows how to
she
deal
has
with people.
social graces because she can make terrors. Did you not notice when you're watching her? She's looking at Paris and all. She can see outside the world.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I'll explain
Well, you
everything.
just
when I
shot
get to it.
down my entire.
I know.
Way to go!
I'm sorry, Mark.
I guess she's perfect because she can see the other places and like watch TV with her mind powers.
But seeing and doing are two completely
That's true.
different things.
It's true. No, I see what you're saying, Mark.
From a game design perspective, this is an incredible achievement. She's also a really cool character, just a little bit like too perfect in a way.
Sure.
All right, Brian.
Okay, my number 5 is Lara Croft, and I want to preface this: it's the new Lara Croft, not the old one, and I'll explain why. Why she's so good is
You realize it's the same lady.
no,
Incorrect.
It is not.
It
the
is a
same.
reboot of the
It
series.
is the reboot. It
But
is.
it's
Yeah.
Lara Croft.
No. Okay, in the first one, first of all, I'm one of those guys. You may think it's lame, but I'm very physics minded. So when a female Tomb Raider is wearing short ass shorts, and you're gonna have to bleep that, and like no shirt basically, and a little holster. I mean, when you're climbing around, do you realize your knees and your legs would be like bloody pulps? You're like on rocks.
Hold on, I have to interrupt you.
Okay.
I have to interrupt him because are you saying that Daniel Craig is the same character as Sean Connery? Is that what you're saying?
We're talking to JJ, right?
Yeah.
That he's the same character?
Yeah.
He's James Bond.
Terrible.
That's what he's aiming at.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, I mean, is he played differently? Absolutely, but he's
Different
he's
character.
James
Well,
Bond.
but let me explain where I'm. The old Tomb Raider was like, hey, look at me, I have triangle boobies and short shorts and a nice butt, and I also raid tombs. Okay, it was kind of like this completely one-dimensional, just for the hey guys, come play this really hot chick, and also there's kind of a story here. This one, yes, she is attractive, but it's like I said, you can be attractive, that's fine, but don't make that the whole crux of your character, right? She wears practical clothing for what she's doing. She's out on safari. At first she's innocent. She doesn't really have the skills yet, and this is what the story was to here's how Lara Croft became Lara Croft. She has to kill that guy. It's a very abridged version. You don't just become a proficient killer after killing one person, but she goes through this whole psychological thing with oh my god, I just murdered a dude for to save my own life. They portray her as a woman, but not an incompetent one. She's a human. She's fighting,
not helpless.
She's fighting for her life, right? Like anyone would do. Okay, and the whole game she kind of grows into this this badass. Sorry again for the bleep, but this character and the way they did it was just brilliant. I loved the game, and I will be playing the sequel.
Very cool.
Lara Croft.
There you go. Rachel, number 5.
My number 5 is Terra from Final Fantasy VI, which is my all-time favorite game ever.
Nice.
Solid pick.
It's a really good game.
Amazing game.
I don't know how much to spoil. Well, you guys did some spoilers on your last
we've already
episode.
played it.
It's
from
fine.
What
It's
I
been
remember.
out since 94.
Yeah.
I like. She was one of the first female characters that I played in an RPG. Who was strong, and I would argue that she is the main character, at least up until the World of Ruin, and then it's kind of like it's the ensemble thing again.
Right.
But I felt like it all revolved around Terra in the first half, and then in the ending, when she becomes human, essentially.
Yeah, she's the main character. Right, JJ?
No. If you watch the ending, the very end of the game, where it does the little what's it called?
The end.
Where it shows each character's little scene. She is not in the front, not at the end, not anywhere where the main character would be. She's right smack dab in the middle. Actually, she's 3/4 of the way through, not even in the middle, because that would make sense even a little bit.
Oh, I'm feeling hungry.
Apology accepted,
reaching for the
everyone.
chips.
Apology accepted.
Yeah.
1-0, I win.
No.
Oh,
Continue on with Terra, and will you please explain why she was impregnating teens?
Well, she wasn't
That would have been
impregnating them.
interesting.
That was it,
They
wasn't?
were-
She wasn't impregnating them.
Well, I
no.
mean, she was encouraging it.
She was
I
definitely
wouldn't say she was
there.
encouraging it.
Okay, that was weird. It was a really cool yet weird, surreal scene. I was like, wait, what? Huh?
The teen pregnancy scene,
Yeah.
in the World of Ruin.
Well, I mean, you get what she's doing. She's like, we got to repopulate. Everybody be lovers. And I was like, wait,
I
what?
don't even remember that.
It's when you go back after you meet her and she's having her existential crisis, and then she's like, "Go away, I'm too worthless." And then you go back and she's like, the two oldest of the kids are like, well, she's pregnant, and then Terra's like, yay, this was my goal. Yeah, that was weird.
Brian has a really bad job of explaining stuff.
Yep, abridged.
But he's essentially right. She's just got all those orphans and stuff, and the two oldest do end up hooking up, and one of them gets pregnant.
I remember that part. I don't remember her encouraging anything, just that it sort of happened.
She's not necessarily encouraging it.
I think it's implied.
She is more. That's more the reason why she kind of joins back up again. Is she's like, this is what we need to protect. This kind of stuff. We need to protect life as it moves forward.
Anyway, I digress. Continue.
She's not like, hey kids, go bang and make more kids. Yeah, no, it's not.
Well, and I'm kind of doubting there's any decent birth control after the end of the world.
Touche.
Anyway, I love how she comes into her own. Like, she comes to accept her own powers eventually, and I totally do this from a gameplay aspect too. She's got like the second highest magic power in the game. She's always in my party. It's like the second highest except for maybe Realm. So I'm always using her in a party. Like, I've played this game multiple times, close to double digits.
Wow.
I have too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. She's definitely a good character. I don't know. I feel like JRPGs always do a bad job of portraying women, for the exception of Terra and a few others. It's always like, and JJ and I argued about this, where it's they're kind of background characters, and in this particular game, it was like, wow, okay.
See, I feel like you're blaming all of JRPGs.
No. I'm generalizing.
Well, I feel like in general, games have actually been getting more into, okay, we need more female characters, we need better female characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with some of the more modern JRPGs, it's been a pretty even, like, 3 male characters, 3 female characters. We've got a 50-50 split here.
And then that one animal weird character, absolutely.
Yes, the one annoying sidekick.
Yes, exactly.
And somebody has to be wearing goggles on their forehead.
Although Kimari Amaroth was the first like animal character that was actually a badass. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, hi, I'm a cat riding on a giant.
What are you talking about?
Okay, first of all, Kimari from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, what'd you say his last name was?
Amaroth or something like that?
I think his last name's Ronso, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Ronso? Is it Ronso?
Sergeant
Is it
Joe's
Ronso?
cooler.
Yeah, Ronso, you're right. Anyway,
I know he is a Ronso.
Kimari will not approve of your mangling of his name.
I played Final Fantasy X years ago. Is it Ronso? Yeah, it's Ronso.
I
Oh,
think
man.
so.
Anyway,
Owned.
but Kimari was like the first one that was like a non-human that wasn't annoying, like Kate Sith.
Oh, God.
I think this should be like your next top 5. Top 5 animal characters.
Yeah, animals.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Oh,
want
boy.
that.
Top 5 worst animal
Yeah,
characters.
I was going to say,
Absolutely.
top 5,
Easier
we'd
than top 5 favorites.
have to actually look for ones we liked.
absolutely.
Yeah. Tipo, number 1. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
Tipo would be number 1 worst.
Although I did like the dog character in Tales of Vesperia, where he's not talking, he's not cute, he's just like he's going to tear your enemy's throat out.
Heck yeah, repeat. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there we
Anyway, Terra sports an awesome pair of tights. Just totally random.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
good costume design too.
go. And she has green hair.
Yep.
All right, Katie.
Okay, so my number 5 is Prie from La Pucelle Tactics, which was, I think, like the first RPG I played, like the first one we played together.
Yeah, and it's a precursor to the Disgaea games. It was made by Nice.
Yep. So, one thing was just, I like that she's the main character. Very clearly, it's her story. And I just liked her person. You know, she's got a goal. She's going to be the Maiden of Light. She's not just hanging around. She's out there, like, actually looking for adventure, wants to help people, wants to protect people. She wants to save the world.
Very cool.
And she has an attitude.
Yeah, and she has an attitude and will punch people.
I don't think any one of the 3 of us here have played La Pucelle. My extent comes from just hearing you guys talk about it on your show.
You really should play it. It's a good game.
I know. I'm sure I'll pick it up eventually. Just one of the hundreds in my backlog. All right, so let's move on to number 4s, shall we?
We shall.
My number 4 is Chris from Suikoden 3.
Hey, you stole that from me.
I actually did. When I saw your list, I was like, I am putting her on there. Chris is, in my opinion, and I'm sure Mark can back me up on this, she is realistic and like the just a wonderful example of how a well-constructed female video game character can be. Not only is she, a great fighter, she has a good backstory and stuff like that. She is the leader of a squad of knights who, the knights clearly, they all join you as well, but they clearly look up to her as their leader, and like she has proved herself through battle and done anything that any guy would do, and there's no mention of, because she's a woman, she can't blah, 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 blah. I think there might be a few little comments in the game, but nothing like serious or anything like that. She proves herself time and time again, and I think she's just a fantastic example of what a well-constructed female character can be. So, has anybody here other than Mark and I played Suikoden 3?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, terrible.
Oh my gosh. Fantastic game. I like it better than 2 personally, but
I don't know.
it's
It's kind of like too many characters.
there are not too many characters in Suikoden.
that is
The
awful
exact
thing to
right
say.
amount.
Oh, okay.
Man.
I'm staying out of this.
Yeah, you don't want to get into it. They
I don't want to have to hang up the Skype call.
Oh, man, we skip the chip and just go right for the hang-up.
Mark gets angered.
It's a solid pick.
It is. I know it is. Well, thank you, because
Yeah.
you made me think of it.
You're welcome.
So that's my number 4, and I don't know her last name, unfortunately.
Light fellow.
Sure.
I know it starts with light. I know it starts with
might be
light.
it. That might be it. Either way, Chris from Suikoden 3. Mark, who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Alex Vance from Half-Life 2. This is another
Nope, never played
character
it.
sort of in the vein of Elizabeth, where they've kind of experimented with how you can have a great companion character who's not going to get in the way, who's not going to piss you off and make you want to stop playing the game. She's also the son of Eli Vance, one of the main characters.
She's the son?
She's the daughter of.
Wow.
Hey, whoa!
Oh, man, spoilers. Jeez.
Yeah, well, I just spoiled the
That was the big plot
hermaphroditic.
twist.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Whoops.
Oh,
I'm just
boy.
going to move on. That's my number 4.
She's later on my list because she's a lot higher and I have more reverence for her. But
Oh, boy.
anyway.
All right, Brian.
Okay, my
Who's
number
your favorite
4,
son?
My number 4, I would kind of call my exception to the rule. It's Miranda Lawson. I'll get it out of the way. She's insanely attractive. Okay, but here's the caveat. That's part of her character crux. She's genetically altered to be, and she even explains that, basically appealing on every level.
That's true. I forgot about that.
And I mean, I'm a huge. She's attractive. I mean, what's the character? The face she's modeled after?
Yvonne
Yeah,
Strahovski.
Strahovski. Yeah, I like her, but that's not why she's on my list. When I say she's the exception to the rule, you know how I said I don't like it when they're like, this girl's attractive, and this is why, because she's attractive, like her. That's part of her character, yes, but her story is, her father, kind of a maniac, basically made her genetically modify herself to become perfect in every way, but she's got all these hidden agendas, because she works for Cerberus, and you're like, okay, Cerberus is bad news bears, so you kind of, the whole game, like through the whole second game, I'm just like suspecting her the whole time, like, oh, she's definitely got some stuff, because she's always kind of revealing just a little bit more, but not enough. I thought that was a brilliant move, like to make this character kind of like you're always suspecting her of doing things behind your back, but you're like, is she working with the elusive man? Is she not? Just honestly, a character all around. I mean, even if she was a dude and his name was like Manda Lawson, and he was genetically superior, it would be the same kind of thing. I would still, really enjoy the arc of, man, do I trust him? Do I don't? But that's why Miranda's on my list.
I thought her personality was that of a stump.
She had a great personality. She was trying to protect her sister, also using subterfuge.
That's not her
It
personality.
wasn't
though.
her sister, though, was it?
It was her sister.
Yeah, it was her
sort
sister.
of.
No, it was her sister.
It was her sister.
I thought it was her clone.
Well,
It's her quote-unquote sister.
it's biological, so yes, sister.
Your clone's not your sister.
Well, based on what?
And who is she the son of?
Hey!
Yeah,
Man.
but that's my Miranda Lawson's on my list. She was one of my favorite like story arcs in the game. They wrote her really well. She had a great personality, JJ. Mark,
Mark! I didn't even have to do it. That's great.
Mark. Anyway,
Nice.
my number 4, Miranda Lawson, Mass Effect 2 and 3.
I liked her better in 2.
That's
3, she wasn't really in 3.
right. That 2 is where I grew to love her.
but-
Ooh, whoa. There you go.
Oh, boy. Oh man. All right, Rachel, number 4.
Okay, I'm prepared for any crap flung my way,
No, you have an ally on this side of the fence.
and I've got my reasons. Number 4, Lightning from Final Fantasy 13.
Oh, these guys. No chipping. No,
She's chipping it right back.
no
Nope.
chipping. No, I agree completely. I loved Lightning. Go ahead.
Those are some good chips.
Those chips might be a few
You get chip a chip. You get triple stamp a double stamp.
Final Fantasy 13 has its flaws. I don't know if I'd like another game like Final Fantasy 13 to come out in the franchise, but still, I think Lightning is pretty badass. Oh, you're gonna have to bleep that out.
Oh, just do it. It's inevitable.
For one thing, what made her my favorite character? For one thing, she punches Snow, who I hate.
That was
she
pretty
just
satisfying.
She just decks him. I just love that. I love Square Enix's effort to start making female characters again. Like, they hadn't tried much of that since Terra.
At least not as, like, a main character.
Not as leads. And she's pretty badass. I totally forgot what I was going to say here.
That's because
Well,
there's nothing to say.
Probably
Yes,
because
there
I
is.
think you're going to chip me, that's
No,
why.
they won't because I am on your side.
So you're gonna
That
stop
won't,
us?
thing
that won't stop us from chipping
I like
anyone.
about Lightning is that she's a type of female character that we don't get to see very much.
Very
Like,
stoic, not very,
Yeah,
somebody
she's-
come save me, let me
she's
go
kind of
be an
emotionally
escort.
distant. You know, like, I think I read that they kind of tried to make her like, okay, she's going to be sort of like a female version of Cloud.
Except
Exactly.
she's not.
Yeah, she's not. And so that's like,
She's not as
this
whiny
is
as Cloud.
This is. Well,
Cloud's
that's
like,
true.
woo!
Yep.
Not quite as crazy as Cloud.
Yeah,
And she cares about her sister, and I can't speak for the other 2 games because I haven't played those. Again, backlog issues. But I quite enjoyed Lightning as a female lead. If it would have been a guy, I wouldn't have been as interested, for sure.
Yeah, if it had been a guy, I think it would have been like, oh,
Just
we've
another
seen
one.
this before.
I
Okay.
100%
Good?
agree. Lightning is
Okay.
she's like in my top 10 for sure. So I agree.
And besides, she's my namesake. I can't abandon her.
Boom.
And yet I did not put my namesake on my list.
Have you played all 3 of the 13 games?
No, as I said, I've only played the first one, so I can't
okay.
vouch for the other 2.
Yeah, maybe they take everything way downhill on those 2.
Well, I
this-
heard that it does go downhill.
The second one you won't even really see her. I personally like the second one better than the first one, and not by much, but I liked it a little bit more just because you had a little bit more freedom. But I haven't played the third one yet. The battle system seems like it'd be kind of cool though. But I don't know. She just seemed always kind of same reason I'm not a huge fan of Miranda. Her personality, she just seems very stiff and just not much to it. I don't know.
But that's what makes them good characters because they're not like they said, like they're not like, I have a dress on, look at me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're
But
like
that's supposed to be kind of their point.
like,
Like, if we had
yeah.
a male character like that, would be saying like he doesn't have very much personality, or would it be he's stoic and reserved,
Right.
and that's his personality.
That's a good point. Okay.
because like that's why I liked Miranda. She wasn't like ever flaunting the fact that she was genetically superior. She was just like, I have a goal and I'm going to go for it. And same with Lightning. She wasn't ever like, but I love this man and I have to go. It was just the Lightning had a job and she
I
went
don't
to do
think
it.
she loved any man.
That's what I'm saying. Like she punched Snow right in the face.
And I think
And you know
anybody-
what? That's fine if there's no male love interest
Exactly.
for
Oh yeah,
female
absolutely.
lead.
That is
Exactly.
one of the things that I did like about it was that wasn't something that was driving her. It was
Yeah.
her trying to protect her sister.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I will say that anybody who's ever wanted the whole scene with her punching Snow in the face is great for anybody who's ever wanted to punch an Abercrombie model.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So. All right, so
That's my favorite part of the game.
there you go. Yeah, that was great when she did that. All right, so
Okay,
that's
so
all right.
mine.
I approve. It's okay. It's all right. I'll survive. Mark
You chipped me.
Mark is biting his tongue. He's like, I can't believe you folded, dude.
Man.
Sorry. Have you played 13?
Nope.
Well, then what are you doing?
I know how much you hate that character, and I'm ashamed that
hate
you
her.
would back down from
I
that.
don't hate her.
That's not what I heard
She's
before
just
we
not
recorded.
in my top 5. When did I ever say? No, he said that.
You came to me and you said, I'm offended that they would put
What?
lightning on their... I'm making this all up.
Okay. All right.
dare
I'm
us.
like, when did I ever say that? The only thing I said was we should totally
It's
chip
kind
that
of
one.
funny because I remember like with the lightning events in 14, JJ. You were saying, like, yeah, it's pretty cool getting to fight with lightning.
What?
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Oh.
I did, and I took screenshots and everything.
Mark is shaking his head.
Man. All right, so moving along, Katie, what's your number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is Reimi Seonji from Star Ocean 4. I think she should have been the main character instead of Edge. I
agree.
liked her a lot better than him. She was much more level-headed, a lot more competent. I think they did a good job with her with
What
balance.
was that?
What was what?
I think that was just rustling,
Rustling?
Yeah, there was just some.
not chipping.
Mark's dancing right now with his hands. Just keep going. We're listening.
Okay. And I feel like they struck kind of a good balance between, like, Raimi's a feminine character without being, like, stereotypical girly, weak character.
Right. That's good. I've never played 4. I'm looking forward to playing that one.
Got to play 2. 2's the best one.
Okay.
And she really should have been made captain instead of Edge.
I agree.
She was way more competent.
I haven't finished it. I've played maybe to where you get off the first planet, and that's it.
Well, just wait till you get to Edge's breakdown.
And stories with Bacchus.
And Pocket.
Oh man, that's the last one that I have in that series to beat. I've beaten all the other ones.
They're all
So-
good games, I think.
It depends on who you ask, but I agree with you. But these guys here, they're not.
I loved
huge on-
3 up until.
Oh, man.
What?
Ugh.
I
Until-
loved the twist in 3.
Mark only loved it because he's a hipster.
No, I loved it because of how mad you guys were.
Yeah, but you guys didn't. You didn't play it after playing the first 2 and then have everything invalidated.
That's the
on those
best part.
first 2.
That's the best part.
I played the first 2 after the third one, and it's kind of like, okay, you know what? These games are always heading off the rails.
Right.
Yeah.
See this? If you played number 2 with, oh look, a holographic town where you can go visit the past planet that blew up, and then you look at the 4D world, then it's, yeah, this
It makes
this came
sense.
from the same people.
Yeah.
Sure.
All I'm saying is, if at the end of the Lord of the Rings trilogy they found out that it was all a video game that people have been playing from 4D space, I would have stood up and cheered in the theater.
Jeez. I'm trying to get these guys to play 2 because 2. I mean, would you both agree 2 is the best one in the series?
Actually, no.
No.
I like 1.
Real. I
I
wish
think
there was
4
some
is
sort
actually
of.
my favorite. I feel like 2 is a little bit more actually like standard in terms of characters, storyline, aside from like the really crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I also have, actually my favorite could be 3 because it's all nostalgia. That was my first Star Ocean.
Gotcha.
But the 4D world threw me, though.
Oh,
Threw
yeah.
everybody.
Woo!
Yep. I mean, I liked 1 a lot as well. I just didn't like the lack of a vehicle. It took forever to go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was...
That was the only
I
thing
have
that
the
bugged me.
remade 1 and 2 on the PSP, so yeah.
There you go. Yeah, definitely give them a
Those
shot
are a
at
lot
some
of
point.
fun.
They're in my backlog.
For sure.
Absolutes.
Okay, so moving on. Number 3. My number 3 is Ellie from The Last of Us.
My number 3 is Ellie from The Last of Us.
This is actually what's funny. 2 things that are funny. 1, I have not one Final Fantasy character on my list.
Yeah, weird.
Crazy. I know, right? 2, this is out of the 5 of us, this is the only crossover.
It's no, you're 1 and my 5. Are you talking about the same
No,
number?
I mean like same number.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty crazy. I figured the girls would at least have 1 or 2 that crossed over, but man,
Nope, we're all original here.
pretty crazy. So,
don't you talk
Mark, what do you think about Ellie?
Let me tell you what I think about Ellie.
Thank you. Please do.
This character is, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but this is just like the first 2 that I listed, where it's the perfect escort mission. However, this takes it to another level, because she's not just like this passive character who's kind of always agreeing with you, who's always behind you. She gives Joel a lot of crap. She challenges his morals and his motivations throughout the entire game, and I thought that was incredible. And she's also a survivor.
Definitely. And as far as the gameplay, she's not completely useless, as a lot of escort missions are. She jumps in there and she helps you out, doesn't get in your way, typically. And she's, even for a kid, she's so sharp. And I guess in a world like that, you kind of have to be. You mature pretty quick, I would imagine. But have you guys played The Last of Us?
No.
Oh man, Do it. Do
That's
it.
probably why we don't have very much crossover. Is we actually haven't played most of the games that you guys have been talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's kind of a shame. I'm planning on playing BioShock, but I'm going to do it in order.
Yeah, one is important to play first, but two is honestly an
skip
offshoot.
2.
You don't have to skip 2, but if you'd like to, you can move on to Infinite. But I did enjoy 2. If you like, speaking of female characters, 2 has one of the best villains and she's it's a lady, and she is maniacal.
Very cool.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, Ellie is just that. Mark said it just like that. She is the sidekick you want, and she's the sidekick you like to see that plays opposite of Joel because of all the crap that she gives him, and just the interactions between the two is phenomenal.
Yep.
She really does have her own unique flair that she brings to it, and yeah, she's great. So that's mine and Mark's number 3, Ellie from The Last of Us. Brian, number 3.
My number 3 is Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite, and let me explain what I meant when I refuted Mark. Yes, she has a Disney princess feel and look for a reason. So you're playing as a guy. Let's say you play as Booker, and you're running in here, and you're like, oh god, I have to go save a princess from a tower, right? And you're like, okay, it's going to be a standard, protect the girl. I got to get her out of this. But Mark, if you remember the game, please use your brain. And every time you were in a troubled situation, who saved you? Every time. Not Booker didn't save her. She saved him every single time by either warping him someplace or opening a tear. It was not... you weren't escorting her. She was escorting you. It just played opposite. So the brilliance of her character is that she has all this... pomp and grace because she keeps looking at Terra. Like we see her looking at Paris when we first meet her, so she's kind of studying culture. But you find out that who becomes the main villain of that game? She does. When you go through the Terra, and you realize that giving the certain circumstance, this is what's going to happen to Elizabeth. She's not a one-dimensional character where you think, oh, I'm just going to have to escort this Disney princess out of there. At the end of the game, you realize she's the one doing the escorting. You're just there to help her.
That's true.
And that's why I think it's brilliant. It kind of turns that notion of the man has to save the woman on its head by starting out that way, but then going, oh, wait, every time I'm in trouble, she's the one saving me. So... and there's twists galore. I'm not going to spoil any of them because you guys haven't played them.
Twists galore.
Woo! Oh, yeah.
Very cool. Rachel, number 3.
All right, my number 3 is Liliana from the Dragon Age series. She appears in both games, but she was a party member in the first game. Liliana is somebody I would love to be friends with. She talks about shoes. Hey, I'm a girl. I'm allowed.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say that.
You should see her pile of shoes.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
She is totally badass. Like you first meet her at the Chantry, which is the
religion.
Yeah,
thing.
religion in the game.
Church.
And she's supposed to be like this Chantry follower, basically, or she was working there in a town right before it gets raised. And she's actually this assassin bard, which is awesome.
Uh-huh.
And she can shoot a mean bow. I always had her in my party.
Same, actually. She was one of my favorite characters in that game.
Yep, me too.
And I think she'll be showing up at Inquisition, from what I've seen. So I'll be happy to see what happens with her.
I know they
Yeah, I
confirmed...
think she will be.
Yeah, I think they confirmed Morrigan, but I don't know if they did Liliana yet, but that'd be awesome.
Oh, they did.
They did?
Because I was trying to find sources of cool bards, and I saw news about...
Couldn't find any cool bards, huh?
We have a dispute on behind the scenes on the show that...
But she's always really
I can't
into
really
what she's talking
say it.
about. She always has a story to tell about, the lore in Dragon Age, and again, she'll even talk about shoes.
Mm-hmm. She's a lady without being flauntingly a lady.
She's a cool bard. Bards are cool.
Yep.
Bards are cool.
Nah.
Bards are cool.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll let you have one.
Well, you can have one.
All right, Katie, number 3.
Okay, Mila Maxwell from Tales of Zillia. And she's raised to believe she's God.
Wow.
And she becomes God. So,
Wow. Okay.
I've played it.
in the end, thought she was really well balanced. She got a lot of character development, and she was I really like the characters that are very competent, that are very like, I have a mission, this is what I need to fulfill that mission, and I have a goal, I'm going to go for it.
She was very full of conviction in the entire game.
Yeah. And I like how even, she doesn't give up. She's paralyzed from the waist down, can't walk, so she's willing to accept help, but at the same time, if people are fighting about who's going to help her, she's like, screw it, I'm going to army crawl away from here.
Yep.
Not putting up with your one-upmanship bullshit. Sorry.
And seeing her like learn about the world and like how to react towards people and talk to, how to engage in conversations with stuff like that. Some of it's comical and some of it is really endearing to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she gets like, and depending on who you play as, she is one of the main characters of the game, so she gets a lot of focus, a lot of development.
Yeah, you can play in her point of view if you wish to. Although Jude, who is the other main character, I feel like his story was more fleshed out.
Yeah, although we haven't really played
Agreed.
as Mila, so.
Definitely. Very cool. All right. Number 2. My number 2 is Estelise from Tales of Vesperia. What's funny is when I first started playing this game and I got her, I absolutely hated her character. Couldn't stand her. I thought she was annoying and dumb, and I was just like, I don't want to use you. The only reason I am is because you're a healer. Dang it, I don't want you around. One of the things that I like to see in a game is character progression, as far as seeing somebody start out a certain way, personality-wise, and watching them grow and change into something better. That's exactly what she does. She starts off as you find out, pretty early on in the game, she's a princess who is literally in line for the throne. She starts off like anytime the party is trying to decide where to go, she kind of puts her foot down and steps in there and says, we should do this. This is what we're going to go do. Like, has that princess attitude and stuff. And she doesn't even realize she's doing it. Like, it doesn't even compute for her. Some of the characters eventually start addressing it and being like, hey, this isn't about you. This is about it. She's like, I'm sorry, am I doing that? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we'll cut you some slack because, this is how you were raised and stuff like that. And eventually, like, I haven't beaten the game yet, but she's getting to that point where she is trying to, overcome that and trying to be a part of the team, and she wants to go out and see the world because she's literally just like, I didn't even know that there were people suffering like this. I didn't know this is the kind of things that were happening outside of the castle walls. I want to experience more of that. And the amount of growth and the amount of change that you see in her is incredible. I absolutely love it, and she is obviously one of my favorite characters now. So, yeah, that's my number 2, Estelise from Tales of Vesperia.
You're here.
I liked Rita better.
Oh, Rita. She's a great character
The
too.
cranky mage girl.
Yes, absolutely. She's hysterical. Always beating up on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she cracks me up.
I kind of like the violent ones.
There you go. All right, Mark, number 2, man. Good pick.
All right, my number 2, which was stolen by you, is Chris from Suikoden 3. We've already heard quite a bit about what's great about this character. She's totally driven. She's competent. She's like a rock that people can rely on within the Zexen Knighthood. I don't know how to
Just the
phrase
Zexen
that.
Knights.
Right, she's a Zexen Knight. She's actually the captain of the Knights. And she doesn't understand why people adore her and praise her. She feels like she's just doing her duty as a knight. She
She's
doesn't
like, I'm just doing what
she
I'm
doesn't need
told.
to be in the spotlight and be, worshipped. And she has a strong moral core too, so she has to go do something really bad pretty early on in the game. All the people on her side see it as like this victory, like she's a champion who's done something amazing, but she knows that it's morally flawed. And it's awesome that there's that depth of analyzing the moral differences between two enemies, and maybe they're not good and bad and good and evil, they're just different.
Definitely. And we've talked about this game before, and it has the Trinity sight system, kind of like Tales of Xillia, where you've got, you can play the game from 2 separate angles. This one has 3 characters you can start out with, each of them watching the same events from a different point of view. Honestly, I don't think a game has done it better than Suikoden 3 has. I think they are just top-notch in the way that they present it. And that scene that you're talking about where she has to do something that conflicts with her morals and stuff like that, you get to see that from her side and from the other side.
Yep.
And it's really like I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. But incredible. Just that level, like you said, that level of depth. And honestly, I liked her story arc probably the best of the three.
I would agree with that, definitely.
So I mean, the others were good too, but I mean, because Hugo had Sergeant Joe.
Man, Sergeant Joe.
But yeah, I mean, she is a spectacular game. Anybody who has not played Suikoden 3, I'm looking at you, everybody who has not played Suikoden 3, should go play
I'm
it.
playing those in order.
Yeah, exactly. I've beaten 1, so I'm on 2 now.
There you go. Oh man, good stuff. But yeah, fantastic game, fantastic character. Mark could not be more right. So,
Woo!
very good. Good. All right, Brian, who's your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is Alex Vance. And as you guys have heard me harp on, I like games. It sounds really weird, but games are an escapism to me, but I'm also very logical minded, so I like practicality in my games. That's why I don't respond to, like, I have magic because of Crystal. It's like, yeah, that's, fantasy and stuff, but give me some explanation as to how it works. I'm always wanting to know that.
Oh, no, don't try to explain it.
You know what I mean?
But horrible.
But that's what I respond to. Like, I always prefer sci-fi just because there's usually more, like, physics-based or logical-based explanations for why something is not just, go collect the crystals because magic. I still like those games, but... So that I digress. Back to Alex Vance. Yes, she's a female and actually attractive. I liked Alex, but she's also wearing clothing. She's not wearing that V-neck that's cut really deep on purpose to show her cleavage for no apparent reason. She's wearing clothes that you would wear.
But you wish she was.
No, it's what I'm saying is she's wearing clothes that you would wear if you were in that situation. You're not
That you would wear?
Well, anybody, like, she's wearing like the cargo jeans with like a vest.
Really?
It's like,
maybe shower?
But
Oh.
it's immersion. It's like, okay, she didn't cut her V-neck down to show cleavage for no apparent reason other than that, hey guys, it's a girl in the game. Same thing I harped on with like Lara Croft. She's wearing practical clothing, and she's not. She is a female, but they're not writing it to be like exaggerated. I like,
Yep.
And it'll get to my number 1, which is very similar. Where it's
Definitely.
like they're writing her character as a character, not, hey, she's a woman, let's make her all kinds of like exaggerated woman traits, and it takes me out of my immersion of the game. Very deep character, loved her dad.
She was the son of Eli Vance.
Eli Vance, right? And
She was the son of Eli Vance.
That's right.
the son of Eli Vance. But she loved her dad, and just helped Gordon out throughout the game.
She's also kind of a genius.
Absolutely.
I mean, she made Dog.
She made a giant robot dog companion. And this was back in like 2004, I believe. So this was ahead of the curve as far as like developing like escort characters and or ancillary characters that are female. So Alex Vance is my number 2, and until recently was my number 1. Yep.
All right, there you go. Rachel.
My number 2 is Prey from La Pucelle Tactics. That would sound familiar because that was one of Katie's.
Uh-huh.
Prey is very no-nonsense. She's obviously the main character. She's got bright red hair and a fiery attitude. So I like her. One of my favorite scenes is when there's an airship crash that she's in, and her love interest is found peeing in the engine fire. She
So trying to
literally
put it
kicks
out?
him off the screen, and he flies off.
Ram punch style, or is this better graphics?
She used a kick. She's her.
Oh,
she's
gotcha.
her,
This would
like-
probably be better graphics.
Gotcha.
Yep, better graphics than a ram punch.
Okay.
Ram punch.
So yeah, she is like one of my super favorite characters because she's a very strong female character, and she doesn't need. She actually saves her man in this one.
Yeah, instead
Nice.
of being the other way around.
Yeah, nice little reversal of fortunes. I like it.
There you go. All right, very cool. Katie, number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is Nell Zelfer from Star Ocean 3. She's not really one of the main characters. She's an optional party member, but she's a soldier. She's out to protect her country. When she finds out there's something larger going on, she jumps in to help with that. And again, she's just very competent. She knows what she's doing. She's not going to put up with crap from Albel Knox.
Who I think seems to like her, actually, if you read
Yes.
some of the...
Yeah.
There's definitely
I don't-
that tension.
I don't think it's going to happen, Albel.
No,
I don't think so either.
he's a little too psycho.
Little?
Yeah, well, and I think she's got a little too much of a grudge over, like, Hi, you've killed millions of my country people.
Yeah, Nell was one of my favorites as well.
Agreed. Definitely. She might be my favorite character from that game.
Yeah,
I really can't think of anybody that I
Albel
like
was
better.
one of my favorites as well.
She's my
Elbow
favorite.
was my favorite because
Yeah.
he could kill everything. Palm of destruction.
Yes.
She'll just take everything out.
Yep.
Yeah, she's my favorite AI construct as well.
Mark.
I honestly, like, regardless of the twist and what you think of, that whole aspect of the game, honestly, I thought for the most part the characters in Star Ocean 3 were pretty solid.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
liked the interaction that they had with each other and that kind of stuff. And honestly,
Yep.
the dialogue was a little slow, the way it presented itself, but the dialogue was good, I thought. So, but Nell definitely easily one of my favorites
Absolutely.
in that game. All right, back to the top. Okay, number ones. Here we go. My number one is Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider series. I would not have put this on there if it weren't for the new one that came out. And I mean, Brian pretty much said it all before. This goes along with a lot like I talked about with Estelize from Tales of Vesperia. I love seeing that transition from point A to point B, and the fact that I saw, I played all the older Tomb Raider games, and I saw Lara back then. There really wasn't much, depth or character development to it. It was just this, woman who was a good fighter and could shoot and loved going on adventures and fighting dinosaurs and whatnot. But then this new one came out, and it showed that transition from where she literally had no idea what was happening to her, what was going on, and had nothing, and then eventually learned how to hunt, how to kill, how to defend herself and stay alive. Putting that and then adding it to the old ones really just makes the character as a whole grow so much just from one game. And because of that, I mean, other than the fact that she's also iconic,
Yeah.
People know who Lara Croft is. Even if you have never played a Tomb Raider game, you see a Tomb Raider poster,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to say her name. You know that's Laura.
Yep.
And I think she is just a fantastic character. And
Excuse me, JJ Poindexter here. It's actually pronounced Lara. Lara. Thank you.
No more Point Dexter, please.
I was
Aww.
I was born and raised in Jersey, so I used to talk like this. So sometimes I'd say Laura instead of Lara. Right?
Lara.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think she's a fantastic character, and because same reasons you said about this new
Yeah.
one,
And
fantastic.
She didn't her buttons were working on her shirt. She didn't unbutton 3 buttons. You know what I mean? It was all practical.
I can't shoot this bow. I better
Yeah,
take my
I better,
shirt off.
if I get down to my bra, I might hunt better. It's not like that. It's like
Exactly.
literally how you would survive. Just so happened that she was a female, not that it wasn't. It was despite that she was a female, not because she was a female, right?
Correct. She's phenomenal, and that game just makes it that much better.
Great game.
So, all right, that's my number one, Lara Croft. Mark, number one, sir.
All right. My number one is Lydia from Skyrim.
That's not funny.
What?
That's
Wow.
Lydia's the best game.
That's not funny.
That is funny.
You're only doing that because you can't say Esbern.
Esbern's my favorite female character.
Who is your number one?
My number one is Clementine from the Walking Dead video game series from Telltale Games.
I'm curious
That's all
to
you gotta
hear
say?
why.
That's have you played it?
I have beaten it.
The first one?
Yes.
Have you played the second one
No.
at all?
No.
Holy
Because I thought she was kind
crap.
of annoying in the first.
Yeah.
She's not
first
annoying. Oh,
Yeah.
whoa!
I thought she was a little over the top, like
A little girl.
little girly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nope. I would
Okay.
disagree. Okay, so yeah, that was designed to activate your paternal instinct to protect her.
Right.
So it's kind of manipulative. In the second season, she totally comes into her own, and she is a badass.
See, I couldn't in the first season. I literally every time I saw her and heard her talk, I would think to myself, "The world's changed. You need to grow up, kid." Seriously.
pretty much.
But that was the point of the first season. Is she kind of represents what was lost from the world by what has happened, and you want to protect that because you feel like if you can't protect that, there's no point in trying to survive.
Okay.
However, in the second season, it takes a complete twist, and she's become a badass.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil anything, so I can't really say
You guys
why.
are killing me right now. Like all four of you. Seriously.
Why?
Because you keep saying
I mean, bad
BA.
butt. Bad butt.
Bad.
Oh, you're gonna
Bad
edit
butt.
the.
That
you're
sounds
gonna,
dirty.
Hey, you had Katie and Rachel on this. You
They
knew
broke
this was
our
coming.
seal.
Yeah. I'm just happy they're on the show
What
so
have
I
you
can get
done?
away with it more.
Honestly, I'm not gonna edit out badass because we've had that on the show before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So not
So
worried
yeah,
about
God, it's just more work when you have to do that.
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. Oh, Brian, like you know.
I do know.
Really? How many episodes have you edited?
It's not much more work. It's you put a beep sound
You
in.
got that?
Put a little beep sound.
You
Let
don't
me,
just push beep
Yeah,
and
you-
it go. No, forget it.
You push
forget
the
it.
button.
there are one or two things that have happened to her that she's dealt with in the second season that probably make her braver and stronger than almost any other character in a video game. I'm just going to say that. It is
Wow.
insane. You just got to wait. You got to play the second season.
I can't wait. I'm excited. All right, Brian. Number 1, sir.
Number 1, Ellie from The Last of Us. I mean, picture a teenage girl in a post-apocalyptic world, and Naughty Dog did it like brilliantly. Not loudmouth, but attitudey, funny. Joel was kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of that serious dad, that Texas dad growing up, and then the rebellious teenage girl kind
Yeah.
of trope.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way they did it was so brilliant. She was obviously a strong character because to be Survivor in that world, you had to be very smart. And that point in which you get to, I'm not going to spoil too much, but when you get to take control, and she has to live or die, basically, and you become basically an ultimate survivor at that point, breaks it down to the point where, man, you just have such an attachment to her. And then I think that was the goal, because at the end she makes a choice personally, and I guess
Well,
she makes a choice, and it shows kind of the difference between selfishness and selflessness. Joel decides that he would rather hold on to something than let it go. It just the whole story, her whole story, and the way they built her up as a believable teenage girl, but at the same time not. There was no stereotypes for Ellie. It was a very realistic portrayal of a teenage girl without any of the she didn't talk about shoes, or they didn't bring up
not
up
that
like,
there's anything wrong with that.
no, but you know what I mean? Like in that world,
Yeah.
to bring up like boy bands or shoes, it was like, here, we're going to take a teenage girl and supplant her in a very terrible world, and let's see how this would happen. And you were like, wow, that's very believable. By far my number 1
I think that's
female character.
It's a great pick. I mean, she is very similar from a gameplay perspective to characters like Elizabeth
Right.
and Alex Vance, but they blew it out of
but done way
blew it out of
better.
the water so much better.
Yeah, subtly.
It is a fully developed character.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I hate to say that because I felt like parts of Last of Us were cliched and a little bit weak,
Sure.
but this character was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's my number 1, Ellie from
And
The Last
again,
of Us.
if you have not played The Last of Us, you should do it.
It's definitely one of those generational games.
Yep. All right, Rachel, number 1.
Mine is Nell Zelfer from Star Ocean 3. Sounds familiar, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I liked her for the same reasons that Katie did. She's an extremely, extremely strong female character. She helps protect her country, Aquaria, from another warring nation, Eriglyph, which is where Albel Nox is from.
Mm-hmm.
She wields dual swords, and I kept her in my party a lot. She was actually very useful, too. And actually, she's so devoted to her work that in the ending, her queen tells her to take a vacation.
Dedicated.
I think other than Albel, she would have, if Albel wasn't in the game, I think she'd have been my favorite character in the whole game, for sure. Definitely the best written.
What, not Cliff?
Oh God.
No.
Cliff Fetter.
Good, Cliff Fetter, man. Hey, bro, what's your KDR? Mine's 4-1.
Cliff's
What about
definitely
Roger?
Cliff's definitely an Xbox owner.
God, Roger.
Roger.
God, no.
Oh
No,
man.
no.
No, false, Roger.
All right, cool. Katie, what's your number 1?
I'm excited.
Okay, my number 1 is Plymouth, and this is from Dragon Age.
That's an insanely good
pretty-
pick. I like
This
that.
is pretty much solely based on cool factor. She's a witch. She lives in a swamp. She can turn into a dragon.
Yes.
It doesn't really get better than that. She's voiced by Kate Mulgrew, who played Captain Janeway on Star Trek Voyager.
Yep.
So this is just solely based on, I want to be able to turn into a dragon. That would be awesome.
And even if you try
She
to
was
kill
great.
her in the first Dragon Age, she survives.
She comes back.
Oh yeah. She was a tough. Man, that dragon was tough to beat.
I got stomped. when
Oh,
tried to
I
kill
beat her, but ooh, I was like,
I tried really early on in the game.
Oh, yeah.
It was not,
I did
not
the
pretty.
first time, but it was not easy.
Yeah. Kate Mulgrew also red on Orange is the New Black. Yeah.
Indeed. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Poindexter, back in action.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. All right, well, there you have it. There's all 5 of our top 5s. Very
Woo.
cool.
Good one.
Well, I would like to first off go ahead and I'm going to plug our stuff. Please, if you have any comments you heard within the last 2 episodes, please send them our way. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at frozennorthpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our website at fngaming.net, facebook.com/thefrozennorth, Twitter at fnpodcast, frozennorthpodcast.blogspot.com, and as always, please subscribe to and rate us on iTunes. Ladies, how can they, if they want to check out your show, how can they do that?
Okay, I'm going to try this from memory. So we're on iTunes, Terra and Lightning's RPG Roundup. That's probably the easiest way to find us. Also on Podomatic, talrpg.podomatic.com. We're also at talrpg.blogspot.com. We usually do a review and also just updates there. And then our email is terra.lightning.rpg@gmail.com.
Send flames our way for Xenogears.
No!
They also feed on hate mail. I love hate mail.
Oh, boy.
Have you ever actually gotten any hate mail,
No,
Brian?
I haven't, and my soul is dying because,
It's
as we
really
all know,
disappointing.
my soul feeds on hate mail.
We actually...
We'll make up some hate mail.
Thank you.
there's an iTunes comment that says, I like JJ, I like Mark, Brian is okay.
Yeah, but I know who that was from. So it invalidates. Yeah, I need hate mail.
Please,
Well,
yes, somebody.
then I can rebut McIntyre.
I don't think you will, though.
I will rebut them McIntyrely.
Oh, boy. Also, I didn't mention this, but for our... We have all of our episodes on our website. The iTunes is still not showing all of them. But if you ever want to check out our old episodes, go to our website, fngaming.net, and news notes are there and all that stuff. So without further ado, I think that is it, and that wraps up this 2-parter. I had a good time, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for guest
Yeah.
appearing. That was good.
That was
Thanks
good.
for having us.
Yeah.
Yep, thanks for
Absolutely.
having us.
Thank you very much. All right. With that, this is the Frozen North signing off. My name is JJ.
My name is Brian.
And my name is Mark.
Ladies.
This is Rachel.
This is Katie. Thanks again for having us.
All right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks,
and
guys.
thank you all for listening. And as always, keep on gaming.
Our theme song was made available through the Creative Commons Attribution license by Ziphoid. The song title is Radical Fanfare.